put on the, they're put on the agenda and posted for the public, and prior to the meeting, so that everyone knows what is on the agenda, they're given to the county commissioners so they can be prepared for the meeting. And so she did train me on how to gather the information and put it on there herself.
As far, I've not prepared agendas. We are lucky in Rogers County that we have an assistant district attorney, civil attorney Ben LePack, who assists in any of the legal wording. It's pretty easy. It's a word format. It's not difficult. Minutes are people get confused with minutes. Minutes are a snippet, a good overview of what happened in the meeting. They're not verbatim. They're not word for word. They are, you and I should be able to read a minute from a meeting and know what happened in the meeting. We don't have to do he said, she said, but it's so that you know what occurred in the meeting. Those minutes also need to be provided to the commissioners or the board prior to the meeting for review. Any changes that need to be made can be made at the meeting, not at the time of the meeting. It's hard to review minutes when you're trying to approve minutes. So I also will record the minutes and have them available online so that anybody who wants to listen word for word, verbatim, can listen to them online at any time.
So I'm going to see if anybody's got any questions.
I'll ask a question then. It's only because it's been asked. In Rogers County now, what does it matter if you're Republican or Democrat, and what's the difference between the two?
I don't.
I'm trying to remember where we left off. I believe it's Cindy.
Okay, and as far as the county clerk's office goes, it's my personal opinion that it doesn't matter. We follow the statutes as set forth by the state of Oklahoma. We have no say in them. We don't write them. We don't have anything to do with them. So, you know, it's not necessary. A party can't make any decision in the office because you are a Republican or a Democrat or an independent. It doesn't really have anything to do with it as far as I'm concerned.
What's the difference between the two? All three.
The difference
In philosophies.
Yeah, but
Points of view,
basically,
philosophies.
I mean, obviously, you chose to run as a Republican, all of you did, for a reason.
Because
Instead of Democrat or independent.
right now the climate in Rogers County
Absolutely.
has to be, you know, and so if it were me, all county politics would be nonpartisan. But in order to serve, you have to go through this process to be a servant. And that's why I was a Democrat and I'm now a Republican, because I choose to serve. If it was nonpartisan, we wouldn't be having this issue. I mean, I could have stayed a Democrat and had an equal chance. But the way the field is right now in Oklahoma, and right or wrong, that's just the way it is.
Is there a difference in the two?
Is it? Absolutely, there's a difference in the two. But as far as county government goes,
What's the difference?
as county government goes, there's no difference in the office.
In your opinion, what's the difference between Democrat and Republican?
Difference in philosophies,
In
absolutely.
what way? Because there's one big one, I was just curious.
I guess I don't know what you're saying. I guess I'm not sure.
The first question, why did I choose to run as a Republican? Because I've always been a Republican, because I have conservative values, because I too believe that it should be the office should be ran in a nonpartisan way. Once you've taken that office, and you have to deal with everyone in the courthouse, whether they're Democrat or Republican or independent, and you shouldn't treat anyone differently because of their party. However, I do believe that as a Republican, as a lifelong Republican, I do hold conservative values. I use those values every day in my job. I use those values to cut the fat out of our budget. I use those values to make good, solid decisions about what would be best for our town, so that we aren't throwing money at things that don't need to be done. And beyond that, I think that it's the honest thing to do. And I don't know Jeanne from anyone, and maybe her values are exactly the same as mine, but what I also don't know, because she changed parties, is whether or not she will come into the office and revert to Democratic values.
Oh my goodness.
I agree. I think it's the conservative values that probably make a difference.
I know Roberta.
And I'll be happy to answer your other question. I ran out of time, but I'll answer your other question after the meeting. Sorry.
Well, I kind of want to get exactly what Chris was saying, because I appreciate you girls, honestly, to run for elected office. It's a lot of work. I've been helping with Jeanne's campaign, and let me tell you, you have to do a lot of door knocking, a lot of, meeting people and stuff and being put on the spot. It's got to be nerve-wracking, and I commend all three of you ladies. But I think it does matter if you are Republican, lifelong Republican, and not. And the reason is because this could be a stepping stone for you ladies to go into another public office, and you stay in the Republican, but you've not been a lifelong Republican conservative. To me, it makes a huge difference. And I'm going to support someone that I know that's going to have my values in my back 10 years down the line. And so, and it's a great stepping stone if you want to go into, local government. And so whoever I support, I want to make sure that that person is going to have my back and my family's back. If my kids are having a house built in this area, I want to make sure that documents and stuff. Now, I know it's a nonpartisan position at this point, but what if you do decide that, hey, I would like to be another elected official or whatever, and so it matters to me. So don't downgrade it thinking it's not, because for someone like myself, it makes a big difference in my decision. And I'm undecided. I've not decided who I'm voting for.
Have you seen politicians in the past cycle switch parties, and have you been pleased with their performance?
To be honest with you, I've not seen anyone switch over, but I've had people that ran.
In the last cycle, you didn't see anybody switch parties?
Mark Wayne Mullen thinks he's conservative, and he's a liberal.
No,
But as far as any local officials and stuff, I know there's been a lot of scandal. In the past,
It's
different
not
positions.
scandal, it's public record. I mean, it's public
Right,
record.
right. And I'm not saying that you're going to make your type of position is you're responsible for all the records of the county, all of them. And that's a big responsibility.
So how does that differ if I'm a Democrat or I'm a Republican? Just asking you.
Well, it matters to me because that means that if you've been a Democrat your whole life, your values may not be the same as mine.
So I won't keep your
lifelong
records as
Republican.
current? So I won't keep your records as accurate if I'm a Democrat, if I was a Democrat? The
Well, I'm
records
not
are the
saying that-
records. The records are the records. There is nothing that can be done partisan-wise for me to discriminate against you or for you to discriminate me in an office where you're just recording documents. Do you see what I mean?
That's not
Well,
all
I
you're doing
think
in
the
a county
tone
clerk's
of the
office.
office, because you're the manager
You're
of
not
all
just
the
recording.
employees in the office as well, it does matter to me. I'm sorry.
And I'm sorry, I can't change that. I'm honest. I changed my
Well, I
party because
appreciate
I want to
being
serve, and
honest,
this is
I
not a
can tell you,
stepping
I did
stone.
not run for your position.
This is not a stepping stone.
I commend you for that, but I just
I'm a
wanted-
Rogers County taxpayer, and it
I
makes
just-
no difference to
it makes
me
a
as long as
difference.
you run that office with ethics.
Amen.
And remember that you're
And that's
spending
good.
taxpayers' money of the county. It doesn't matter what name you want to put on it. You do a good job, and that's what we want.
And it is no stepping
And
stone.
as far as
This is
values
right.
go, I'm, one side or the other does not hold higher values as far as I'm concerned.
And I respect your
We are
opinion, and I'm not here
here
trying
to
to
work
attack
for
them, I'm
the
just saying that, hey, this
taxpayers,
is how I
the
feel.
hard-working
And I'm
people
undecided,
of
but
Rogers
this
County,
is
and
not
I
what I vote
appreciate the
for.
job that you do.
I just come here.
I like it.
I'm more purpose to questions than the statements. Tony, you have a question?
Actually, it was more of a point of order. Ms. Heidlage should have been allowed a rebuttal.
Do what?
Ms. Heidlage should have been allowed a rebuttal.
Okay, need a rebuttal, Ms. Howard?
Absolutely. I didn't come here to be attacked by,
That
and
turned me on.
I
I
want
felt like you're-
to, can I
I was just
I
making
just
a
want to
statement.
speak. I just want to serve the citizens of this county, not as a stepping stone. I want to stay in county government. I'm passionate about it. We get smarter people in office by educating the people that are voting for them.
Right.
And if it were my choice, I would work with legislature to make it nonpartisan. But I can't do that, and the best way for me to serve is to do this. You don't know me, you don't know my life, but I can tell you I have 3 children. I have a policeman, I have a nurse, and I have a lawyer. We all have values, strong conservative values. I'm an individual. I'm a smart individual, and I vote for a smart person.
Well, and
Thank you.
and honestly, through all 3 of you, I think you're more articulate than the other 3. That doesn't make you more qualified than the other 3. I mean, the other 2, I'm sorry.
And whatever party you're affiliated with doesn't make you more or less qualified for the position.
No, but it matters to me. That's my personal.
Carl, you have a question?
Yeah, somewhat. Yes, I know what you're talking about. I came into the county 20-plus years ago, 25 years ago. They said, you won't be able to vote like you don't vote Democrat or register as a Democrat. I chose to register as a Republican because I'd rather be related to someone other than Walter Mondale. And so, anyway, but what I'm interested is what thing on the Democrat platform, what position they had made you decide you wanted to be a Republican instead of a Democrat. That's what I'd like.
I thought I explained that. I want to serve the citizens of Rogers County, and this was the best way to do that. I'm a smart individual. I can do the job. I can surround myself with smart people. It has nothing to do with whether I'm a Democrat or Republican. I chose to serve the people of this county. And this, unfortunately, is the way it has to be.
So it wasn't nothing that differed on the Democratic platform? It was
No, because
the numbers
I don't know the record, but I've never voted a straight party. I vote for the individual, Republican or Democrat. If I think you're the person that's going to do the best for me and for our country, then that's who I vote for. And I would hope that would happen here. And in order to do that, if I remain a Democrat, it's kind of no hope. And I want that job. I want to be the county clerk, and I was willing to do that to serve the people of this county. And even I knew this was going to be an issue at some point in time, and I welcome that. I understand why you asked, but I'm being absolutely honest with you. I did it to serve the people of this county. I'm still the same person I was last July. I am as conservative, I'm smart, I have a great family, very supportive.
Rogers County is not Washington, D.C. The people of Rogers County are hardworking people from both sides of the aisle. So don't compare Rogers County Clerk's office to Washington, D.C., the president, the nominees. You can't apply that here. We're looking for somebody that's going to run an office efficiently and know that they're spending the Rogers County taxpayers' money, which I am one of. And I want the person that's best for the job, regardless of what party affiliation they are.
And what we were asking is why did they become?
Why did they switch?
Why did they come?
Because of the environment in Washington, D.C. and national politics. In Oklahoma, everybody knows what's going on, and everybody knows what that
All right,
is leading up.
I think we've kind of got the point here. I think this young man over here has a question.
When I ran for board at Heidlage, one of the biggest problems that I seen before I ran was the Open Meetings Act wasn't being properly done right. And I've seen it since then and on other boards since then. My question is what would you do to better to help with the Open Meetings Act in your seat?
I'm trying to remember where we left off on the line of questioning earlier.
You can have it, I need a break.
I will start with Polly.
The Open Meetings Act is very important, and what Mr. Birch is saying is very correct. In Heidlage, there were people who were not educated well as to what the Open Meetings Act was, and who were not necessarily trying to meet the spirit of the act. In today's government, and especially in Rogers County right now, that's the most important thing that anyone can do, is to make sure they're abiding by that, make sure that those around you are being held accountable to abide by the Open Meetings and Open Records Act, and to make sure that you're applying the knowledge you have of the act to make not only your office and your county better, but the commissioners and the commissioner's office better, and all of the boards for which you will be responsible as the clerk for preparing agendas and minutes and being responsible for posting those for the general public, and making sure they're educated on what's going on in those meetings.
Cindy?
I think Holly said it well. There's really not much else to say about it. You have to make them accessible to the public. You have to follow the rules of the Open Records Act. And if someone comes in and requests documentation, then they've got to be available, and you've got to give it to them. There should be no arguing about it and no keeping it secret. It is an Open Records Act. Open Records Act. I can't talk anymore. So yeah, I mean, she said it all.
I think the Open Meetings, Open Records is in statute in Title 19. And What that does is to protect the public. It lets everybody know when meetings are occurring that are transacting business of any kind, county business, so that you have an opportunity to be there, to be present, to have a voice. So as long as you know what the guidelines are, in Rogers County we have a civil attorney who's there to assist you if there's any gray area. There's really not, but you err on the side of caution. You know, if you're not sure, you treat it as an open meeting, make it accessible, make it available, let people know that it's occurring, and then it won't be an issue.
Yes.
She's 100% correct, it is in statute. But just because it's written in statute does not mean that all of the county officials that have been elected here are abiding by that necessarily. And you have to know that the people you're electing into office have the integrity, that they are going to stand up for that, even in the face of someone that isn't abiding by that. And they're going to make sure that they're doing their part to make sure the public is protected by those acts.
All right. Anybody else have any questions? I guess if not, we'll go to our closing remark, and we'll have 2 minutes.
I got one more question, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Where do you see yourself in the future? Do you see yourself here in 10 years, or do you see yourself?
12.
12,
The terms are 4
sorry,
years.
12 years. Well, I just used 10, sorry.
Cindy?
I'm sorry.
Where do you see yourself?
Where do you see yourself in 12 years?
Where do I see myself in 12 years? Well, hopefully, I still see myself in the office of the county clerk, keeping it maintained, keeping it run efficiently, and in tip-top shape. That's my plan. I don't plan on going anywhere if I get elected anytime soon.
In 12 years, I would hope to be ready to finish my career as a county clerk, but hopefully have put in place a model that will carry through with the values and the systems that I've set up, and hopefully pass that transition on. But I hope to have grandchildren and travel in 12 years.
In 12 years, I absolutely see myself in county government, probably in the clerk's office. But if I've done what I need to do there, and I have established what needs to be established, and I find that I'm needed elsewhere inside the county government, then I will be more than willing to go there and do that. I have confidence in my abilities to go in and organize and streamline and make more efficient any office. I intend to do that with the county clerk's office. And in 12 years, if I've done that job and it's time to move on, then I will. If I haven't, I'll be there. I'll be there. If I can't turn it over to someone who can keep it as well as I've made it, then I'll stay.
All right. Any more questions? Okay, now we'll go to our closing remarks. I guess we'll go in the reverse order of what we started out with our opening remarks. Jeanne, start off with opening remarks.
Thank you all for sticking it out tonight. It's been a pleasure to visit with you. I hope that you take away tonight that I want to serve the citizens of this county. I did what it took to do that. I'll make a great county clerk. I have the knowledge, I have the experience. County government is complex, and my goal when elected is to educate people in this county. So we get smarter people in office by making smarter voters voting for them. So I want to see 200 people in the next 4 for county clerk. So thank you for your participation, and have a good evening.
Number 2 is number 2 either.
Right.
I want to thank you guys for coming out. I want to thank Rogers County GOP for inviting me, giving me a reason to wear a white suit jacket. I have a 4-year-old son. That doesn't happen very often. I want all of you to walk away from this knowing that I have a passion for the public service, and I have a passion for this office. And I know that I can do it, and I know that the people who are surrounding me know that I can do it. I possess a skill set that I am very confident will benefit not only the clerk's office, but the rest of the courthouse as I work with them. I intend to use all resources available to me to make that happen. I don't intend to bring in new resources or create costs for the county, but I absolutely intend to take what I've got and make it work better for everyone. I have experience, I have very well-rounded experience in all areas of the office. I'm incredibly enthusiastic about the job, and I don't do anything in less than an excellent manner. And I promise that I will bring that to the county clerk's office.
And again, I would like to thank all of you for coming out tonight to get to meet us. And I would like to thank Mr. Green for inviting us here again. And just to repeat what I said, I am 100% prepared to go into this office, take my leadership, my knowledge, and make it a workable office, accessible for the public, and to take care of the citizens, and to be in the office at all times and be accountable and available to you when you come into my office. I appreciate it.